Welcome everyone to HueFin, also known as HueFin News. Today is July the 11th, 2021. Take a look at my chart. We're going to speak on Bitcoin to make sure that everyone in our community gets in position so that we can win and dominate and profit and make as much money as we possibly can right before the price gets to where we expect it to go. If you all appreciate our videos, the content that we are creating, you want to join the team, the doors are open. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe here to the channel as well, because we're going to give you information that you're not going to get anywhere else the simplistic way. You know, we're not going to be here to confuse you. We're not going to be here to give you any FUD, any FOMO, any hype. We're just simply here to pay attention to what the trap has in store for us so that we can beat him at his own game. You want to learn more? We're here. Now, you also probably clicked on this video because of this article right here. JP Morgan is confident that Grayscale's July unlockings will crash Bitcoin's price below $25,000. Now, of course, from our perspective, from our realm, we don't pay attention to what these articles are really going into because the news is already here on the chart. It tells us already what the overall environment is feeling, and it also includes JP Morgan and Grayscale. Both of these two entities are involved in Bitcoin, and you can best believe that their ideas is already here on this price chart. So even though JP Morgan is confident that Grayscale's unlockings in July is going to crash Bitcoin's price, we should see that already in the price chart. Okay, so we'll show you all that in the price chart. But first, let's look at this article real quick, because on July 13th, all right, which is 2 days away, Grayscale will be set to unlock its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust product, which has been locked for the last 6 months. Now, granted, we started the year in Bitcoin down there around $30,000, right? So within the 6 months, the market has went all the way up there towards 64,000. Could that be the contributing factor why Bitcoin saw so much demand? Who knows? Because no one in the Grayscale product could sell. Well, July 13th, they will be able to sell out their shares now in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. The reason why Grayscale created this Bitcoin Trust is to allow people to gain exposure to the market without having to deal with cryptocurrency exchanges. Currently, the BTC product holds around $19 billion worth of Bitcoin. Okay. Now, JP Morgan is bearish on the unlockings for that trust. From JP's point of view, you guys can see that the unlocking of this product could trigger, it's not no guarantee, a major sell-off from investors who have been holding for longer than 6 months, right? And I quote, this is the JP Morgan strategist who is trying to be bearish in Bitcoin, right? This is only one man's opinion. So, I mean, for people to try to grasp on straws and try to make you think that Bitcoin is going to crash just because of what one person thinks, we have to look at the overall market in general in terms of what the market is going to do, not based off one person's opinion, okay? And this is what he says, and I quote, selling of GPT shares exiting 6-month lockup period during June and July has emerged as an additional headwind for Bitcoin. JP Morgan calls $25,000 Bitcoin in the long term. Okay, so we already got their position. It will still take place. Declines to $25,000 level for longer term momentum would signal capitulation. This is what JP Morgan is trying to hint at. Now, this is not nothing new, right? This article from ZY Crypto was posted yesterday, well, 2 days ago, July the 9th. But CoinDesk also mentioned about this unlocking back in June, the ending of June 2021 right here. So the anticipation of this unlocking for Grayscale has already been on many people's radar, right? Now, there's also someone else, okay? Now, you got to play both sides of the fence when you come to these articles. You got someone who's bearish. You got to also mention someone who's bullish. And here he is right here. He tweeted, his name is Lark Davis, right? And the good news is that after July, there won't be any more big BTC unlocks anytime soon. So August will likely be quite bullish as the effect of the institution shorting GBC releases subsides. Okay. Now, Lark Davis is trying to brand JP Morgan as the FUD master, not understanding that everyone has a position. For Lark to think that prices don't come down, he needs to get a better idea. Everything just don't shoot up, right? You guys can tell from the price chart of Bitcoin, the market went from 64,000 back down to 30. So what do you mean is FUD? It's not FUD. Prices come back down. And if you don't have that premonition, if you guys can't expect that, then you guys are literally living in a idealistic world, not expecting price to come back down. So he's trying to label JP Morgan as a FUD master when the price in Bitcoin did go down. All right. Now, $25,000, who knows? The price chart will give us a heads up before that even occurs, though. Now, he thinks that after the GPC unlocks, the bear market would only be temporary and would be accompanied by an extremely bullish August. So we're about 2 weeks away, 2 or 3 weeks away. Before we hit August, we'll see if that's come to fruition or not. Okay. So now, one thing that I really wanted to pinpoint is that Lark in his tweets tries to state market manipulation when it comes to prices going down, right? Now, for everyone in our community, we need to realize that why do you try to equate manipulators when price goes down, but nobody ever equates manipulators when price go up, right? Lark Davis never says anything about market manipulation when price in Bitcoin shot all the way up there to all-time highs. So it tells me already that you're trying to persuade people to think that when prices go down, someone is manipulating the market. But when prices go up, all of a sudden no one speaks on the market manipulation because everyone is ecstatic, everyone is happy. The emotions of greed is definitely in play. So all of a sudden you push that manipulation to the side and everyone is happy. Well, when price comes back down, oh, now the market is being manipulated. So we can't have it both ways in the market. Okay, if the market is going to be manipulated, let it be manipulated both ways. When the price goes up and when the price goes down. But nobody tries to call out the manipulators when the price goes up. That is quite astounding. It shows you that the mind frame of the people who participate in these markets is too extreme, to the point to where when you can't explain why prices go down, automatically you try to place the manipulators involved. But nobody actually knows who is this so-called manipulator. Who is the one behind these prices going down, right? You're giving me this general broad statement of a manipulator. Okay, you give me that. Give me their name. Be specific. Prove to me that JP Morgan, if you try to say that JP Morgan is manipulating the market, prove it. Right? Just prove it. Because then I will ask you, okay, if they're manipulating the market to the downside, then who's the one manipulating the market to the upside? Prove that. Because JP Morgan can come back and say, okay, cool. If you're trying to tell me that I'm manipulating the market to bring the prices down, I can say that you're manipulating the market to bring the prices up to Lark Davis. And that Lark Davis could be a FUD master as well, because he's trying to get everyone to pump up Bitcoin's price to continue to go higher. Right? That's true. So just something to think about. I'm going to have a link to the article in the description of this video as well if you guys want to continue to watch it. And again, the price chart tells us everything we need to know. So I could care less about what JP Morgan thinks. I could care less about what Lark thinks. Everyone's mind about price is already here on the chart. This is what's more important, where price has been and where price is anticipated to go. So I could care less about what anyone thinks about Bitcoin. And you also need to try to do the same thing and understand that the consensus of everybody, from JP Morgan, from Grayscale, from Lark Davis, from anybody else who's interested in Bitcoin, is already here on this chart. So that's what we are all about. We're here to anticipate what everyone is pretty much thinking, right? And you can see right here from our last price prediction that Bitcoin was on July the 2nd, we played the weakness. And you can see since then, here we are, July the 11th, and price in Bitcoin hasn't even went down. It maintained its price. That tells me that the market stability is controlling this market so far, and that the weakness that we anticipated back in July is not really actually panning out. And when you see those type of events, you need to make adjustments, right? Because right now the market looks decent in Bitcoin for us to see higher price. Now, let me see this on a 3-day time frame real quick. And this is the 3-day time frame, right? We got 7 hours and 32 minutes left. And we can still tell that the market in Bitcoin, even though the last two completed 3-day price bars, the market tried to go lower. But this current one, we're still seeing the market price in Bitcoin try to sustain itself. All of that is hinting to me that the price is trying to go higher. So what we're going to do on this particular video is we're going to get rid of our last price prediction and see that, yeah, the market is not really all that weak than what we really anticipated. So we need to adjust this before the market really goes against our prediction, right? So let me go ahead and take this out. So if you were to get out right now, that'd be about 3.46% market loss right there. Okay, so let me take this away. Now, I'm not telling you that everything is ready to go back up to $64,000. We're not that type of individuals. We're not going to pump you up and think that Bitcoin is going to make all-time highs, but we can still play the strength and profit into the market. So let's do it. So let's go ahead and put this in. Now the support area in Bitcoin is still around $30,000 though. Okay. Now there's a very strong restriction point that I want to pinpoint and show you all as to where our first area TP needs to be. And it's right there around $36,000. That would give us around 6.22%, which would cut the loss of that 3.49 on our last price prediction that we did for Bitcoin, right? That would be the first area TP. Then I'm gonna bring it up here a little bit shy of $38,000. I can see the market in Bitcoin try to tag that out and try to hit that real quick and then maybe come back down. But that's pretty much what we're seeing, okay? Now that still keeps us within this trading range though. So the longer that we see Bitcoin trade within this range and we see price continue to support itself above $30,000, the better that we'll see that bullishness in August, right? So if we start to see some weakness enter in the market in Bitcoin while we're trading within these two ranges, then that bullishness that Lark is trying to talk about in his tweet is not going to happen. But so far, the market is being stable and we're going to continue to follow the trend. Like, we're not going to buck the trend. We're going to continue to follow what the trap lays down and get in position and win. And this is the current prediction right there. So now, tell us, what do you all think? Where do you think the market price in Bitcoin is going to go? Which way do you think the manipulators is going to take the price? Because from our perspective, everyone is trying to manipulate someone else. You're trying to get them to do something. JP Morgan is trying to get people to sell their Bitcoin. Lark Davis is trying to get people to buy it. It's just that simple. They're both manipulators. So now I want you all to tell me, call the market though. Where do you think the price is going to go? This is what we're seeing based off the price chart. You're part of our team. You're part of our community. Let us know. Drop us a comment in the comment section to tell us. Make sure you maintain a profitability. And as always, trade different.